Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. It's In the Rye Podcast, episode 84. I'm Kurt Fletcher, your host. Before I get started, just want to say rest in peace to my good buddy Todd Johnson, who passed away a couple days ago. Very sad news. I guess he was having some health issues. Todd was actually on this podcast. I don't remember which episode is one of the first 20. Somewhere in the first 20. So you can go back and watch that episode with Todd. I always love talking to him. Every time he called, I knew it was going to be at least a 2-hour conversation. So always liked that guy. I can't even remember the last time I saw him, but we always kept in touch over the years. Super nice guy, very funny, very likable guy. He actually lived in Preston, Idaho, which is where they filmed Napoleon Dynamite. He actually lived in that town. So rest in peace, Todd. Sad that you're gone. Won't get those random 2-hour phone calls anymore. Over the weekend, I performed at Quesada's Comedy Club here in New Mexico. Had a blast working with Molly Carney. Molly was on SNL for a couple years. Very funny, very fun to work with. Had some awesome shows. We did 3 shows, very fun. Had some locals. June Opal opened, did great. Had a couple local comics do guest spots and stuff. So it was a lot of fun. Saw some old friends in the crowd. Just overall, it was a fun weekend. Well, let's do my tour dates and stuff before we start this podcast. I have a guest today, Savannah Holder, very funny comedian from Albuquerque. She's new in the scene, but she's really good. She's been doing comedy for about a year or so. Here's my tour dates, though, coming up. And you can find these on funnyfletcher.com or intherryepodcast.com. So May 1st, I'm in Cary, North Carolina at a Don't Tell comedy show. And then May 2nd in Durham, North Carolina, 3rd and 4th in Raleigh, North Carolina. May 23rd, I'm headlining Gnarly's in Golden, Colorado. 24th, I'm at the Denver Comedy Lounge doing 3 shows. And then the 25th, I'm at the Comedy Works downtown doing a show called Thick Skin. This one I just got added to. I will be hosting a show it's a festival in Minneapolis called Loons on the Lake. So Wednesday night I'll be hosting a portion of the competition. And then on the 7th, which is a Saturday, I will be hosting an industry panel. Should be pretty fun. June 11th, I'm headlining a show in Albuquerque. Don't know the venue yet. June 26th through the 29th, I'll be at the Laugh Factory in Reno. July 17th, I've got a show in Albuquerque, and I don't know the venue on that one yet. July 24th, I'll be headlining Into the Mountain Gods down in Mescalero, New Mexico. And then September 29th through October 4th, Comedy Cave in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And if you want to sign up for my mailing list, go to my website, funnyfletcher.com, or you can email me and say, hey, put me on your mailing list. Also, go check out my comedy special on YouTube, Open Bar Comedy. It's called Ginger Snaps. Go check that out if you want to. That's it for the intro. Let's go talk to Savannah. It's a good one. Have fun, everybody. Savannah Holder is here. How's it going, Savannah Holder?
It's going well.
Good.
It's not going well.
It's not. Oh, no. You lied.
It's not going well, but I did lie. But yeah, I mean, for the purpose of the podcast, things are going well. So.
Well, we could always turn this into a therapy session. We've never had one of those on the podcast.
I mean, I would love that. Honestly.
I mean, I don't know if I'd be any help or not, but we've got at least 8 great listeners.
All right. Well, I'm excited. I've never been on a podcast before.
Oh, okay. Neither had Phil, and you could tell.
Yeah.
Phil
You
was
could
like,
tell.
oh yeah, he was like eating Starburst and taking phone calls and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Since Phil's letting me use his
Hmm.
laptop and I'm at his place and everything, I did all of his dishes and I baked brownies.
Oh wow. Did you
I
put
know.
anything special in the brownies?
Just walnuts.
Oh, he's allergic to walnuts. I love it. That'll be exciting for him later.
Yeah, maybe some peanut oil if he's allergic to peanuts and
Oh, that'd
then
be awesome. Just put
yeah.
everything he's allergic in the brownies.
Yeah,
That'd
for
be
sure.
awesome.
For sure.
That'd be funny if it was like it was just so much that it didn't even bother him. It was just turned out to be the best brownies of all time.
They do smell really good right now, I'm not gonna
Oh,
lie to
really?
you.
Nice.
But
Man, I want some
and
brownies.
he I did want to let you know he may be coming back around 3:30 or so in
Oh,
about
okay.
just a heads up.
Try to wrap it up before he gets in there because we don't need him making a
A
second
scene.
appearance.
Yeah, for sure.
No, it was fun chatting with Phil. Um, yeah, he had never done a podcast before either, so um, but yeah, he did some stuff that you're probably not supposed to do on a podcast, but that's all right. Um,
He
so
has a way.
Savannah, you are a comedian and you're way funnier than Phil. And you
Oh,
started after Phil.
I
I mean,
did.
that's not like a huge compliment either because Phil's like the second worst comedian in town. But um, you are insanely funny. I've seen you perform a few times. The first time was a gig we did together. Some I don't even remember the venue right now, but um,
Turtle Mountain at
no,
Easton.
it was a show for Allie. We did that
Oh, um,
where that
it
lady
was
gave us that free water.
yeah, it was at Urban Mama 505, the kombuchery, and then but it was
Yeah, that's it.
Ancora Cafe, but they had to cancel. Like it was a last minute venue change, so
Yeah, but we
mhm.
got free water out of the deal, so that was good. But
It
yeah, that
was
was the
big.
first time I saw you perform, and you did a great job. And your mom was there, and that was
Thank
cool.
you.
Does your mom come to a lot of your shows?
Yeah. Are you gonna say she's hot? Are you gonna say she's a MILF? Because she
Um,
loves that shit.
I mean, I could. She's probably like my age.
She's I don't think so. You're
No,
what, like 40?
45.
45? Yeah, she's 55.
Oh, okay, so yeah, I guess I
She
could
might
call
be
her a
mad at me for
milf.
saying her age on my
Oh, nobody's listening. It's fine.
podcast. But yeah,
Someone said the N word on my podcast, and nobody said anything. That means
really.
I have zero listeners, or zero listeners that give a shit.
Well, I mean, 0 listeners that give a shit. That sounds ideal.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. Just I don't know. I mean, if you want to drop the N bomb, feel free. Um, nobody's
End
gonna
my
complain
end
about it.
my career before it starts.
I would be more concerned about dropping your mom's age on here than dropping the N word because moms can get pretty upset.
Yeah. Yeah, but she's a good mom. She's really supportive and
That's super
um
cool. Was she a comedy fan like when you were growing up?
no, my dad is definitely more of the joker. I mean, she's funny in her own way, like kind of accidentally. I think that's where I
Mm,
get my accidental funniness.
hmm.
Um, but my dad's more of the comedy fan.
Okay.
Yeah.
So did he watch a lot of comedy or
No, I
no?
kind of discovered like stand-up comedy on my own. I remember the first comedy he ever showed me was actually, do you know Jim Brewer?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he showed me Party in the Stomach or Party in Your Stomach by Jim Brewer.
Yeah. So
Which is
listen to this, Savannah. How funny is this?
what?
So Jim Brewer's guitar player uh, is the guy that dropped the N bomb on my podcast.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Nice. I don't know what to do with that information. I'm just gonna
I don't either. It's just it's kind of a funny coincidence.
yeah, that's pretty funny.
Yeah. So yeah, Jim Brewer is great. I actually he actually performed here a few years ago. I guess it's probably been like 5 or 6 now, but um uh Presbyterian Hospital's they do like a big party every year for their
Mhm.
employees, and they always hire like a famous comedian to perform. And one
Okay.
year they hired Jim Brewer, and the CEO of Presbyterian wanted to do some jokes as well. So he hired me and a couple of my friends to write jokes for him. So he got to
Okay.
do like a 10-minute set before he brought up Jim Brewer. So that was pretty
That's
cool.
cool.
And I didn't get to go see Jim Brewer perform. They said that we could have gone and went if we wanted to, but I was out of town, so I missed it. But yeah, Jim Brewer is awesome.
Yeah, yeah, he is really awesome. He kind of gives me that like Jim Carrey feel a little bit,
Yeah.
with like kind of the mania,
Uh-huh.
like yeah, words are failing me right now, but um but yeah, my dad, I've actually shown my dad more like he showed me Jim Gaffigan when I was younger, right?
Okay.
He likes clean comedy, which I'm very nervous about going to North Carolina in a week or so.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to the Durham area and I'm going to do an open mic, and it's going to be the first time my dad's seen me do comedy.
Oh wow.
And
Does he live out there?
he does live out there. He lives
Oh
in
cool.
Hope, which is like a little tiny town in the middle of nowhere. But it's about 45 minutes from the Raleigh-Durham area.
Oh cool. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
actually I'm flying out there Thursday to do some shows.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, that's cool. Your dad's gonna get to see you.
Yes.
That's
I'm
exciting.
very
Yeah.
nervous because
Yeah. Do
most
you
of
have
my
any?
comedy is about him.
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask you, like, do you have any jokes about him? So that'll
I
be
do.
fun.
Yeah. It'll be good. He said he's going to heckle me.
Ooh, that's not good.
So if he doesn't like the jokes, and he will do that, but he won't get up on stage with the microphone. He's too scared to do that. So, Dad,
What
if
a
you're
wuss.
watching, you're a wuss,
Big time.
Yeah.
That's so cool. He's gonna get to see you perform now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be really good. Um,
Do you want to hear a
so he
funny
lives.
story real quick?
Yeah,
Sorry.
absolutely. No, this is a podcast. Let's hear it.
Okay. So I'm actually going to North Carolina for his marriage blessing. He already
Okay.
got married at like the courthouse, but they're having like a ceremony at his house. And he actually met his current wife. I say current wife, like she's only his second wife, his first wife being my mother, but his current wife in England, because I was visiting him in England and I wanted to see if the British guys were cute on Tinder.
Mm-hmm.
Spoiler alert, they're not that cute, and they're just as mean as they are here.
Do they have a lot of fish in their profile pictures?
No, but they do have a lot of fucked up teeth in their mouth.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm allowed to cuss on here.
Oh,
I mean, I
absolutely.
guess as long as I don't say the N-word, right?
Oh, you could say the N-word. It's fine.
Okay. Hard R or no hard R?
I don't remember. I'll have to go back and listen to that episode.
Okay.
Nobody else did, so.
Yeah. But well, oh, sorry, I lost my train of thought.
Oh, you're
yeah.
talking about your dad and
He saw me on Tinder and he's like, "What's that?" Because previously he had been on like Match.com and eHarmony and all the old person ones, like dating apps, or not even apps, like websites. And so I showed him what Tinder was. He set it to his age range. And then I think one of the first people he matched with was Pia, his current wife. And he just had love right away. She thought he was a catfish because she talked to him on the phone and he has a very thick Southern accent. And so she thought he was like a Nigerian like scammer or something. Because she thought, no way does someone have that thick of a Southern accent. Yeah, he likes to tell people, they ask where he's from. He says a little town called Boston, just to see like the confused look on their face. And then he says about 1,000 miles south, called Atlanta. Yeah, so I don't know how many miles south of Boston Atlanta is, but I assume it's around 1,000. I don't know.
We should look it up.
We should look it up.
To Atlanta miles. It's pretty close. 1,078.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay, good. That's good. So I don't look like a dumbass on your podcast. Or
not
I'll
at all.
look like a dumbass in a different way, maybe. But
Yeah, you got plenty of time.
yes, I have
Um,
time. But and then my luck on Tinder in England was I wouldn't meet up with this guy on Christmas Eve because I was with my family, and he called me a useless Yank slut.
yeah, I remember you did a joke about that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think that's so funny that my dad met his wife right away, and then I was just getting called a useless Yank slut, which the useless part I get, the Yank part I get. Slut, I was like, I didn't even do anything, you know? So,
Yeah. It's
I
like,
mean, I
you
am a
wish I was
slut,
a
but
slut.
like, how did he know that? Yeah.
Yeah, he was his nephew.
Yeah. So, it's probably one of my favorite insults I've ever been called.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That should be. Is that on your Tinder profile now?
I don't have Tinder right now. I have
Oh,
Bumble, like a self-respecting lady.
oh, okay. Is Bumble the one where the ladies do the initiation?
um, It used to be, but I think anybody can now.
Oh, okay.
They changed it because it turns out I guess ladies aren't the best at making the first move.
Ah, okay.
I
Well,
don't know. There's probably some reason for it, but
yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe it wasn't as popular as Tinder or something like that, and they're like, we gotta change this.
yeah, for sure.
Gotta help
It,
out these Yank sluts.
I think the creator of Bumble used to work for Tinder and
Oh,
helped with
okay.
her, and then I think they treated her badly or something, and then she
Mm,
switched and made her own dating app,
good.
which was very similar to Tinder, but I like it better. It just has, I mean, it still sucks. Dating apps suck, but
Yeah, they are pretty stupid.
it's better than dating in the comedy community, which I've learned the hard way is not the best thing to do.
Yeah, that can definitely be hard. Like my ex-wife did comedy, and my ex-girlfriend was also a comedian. So
Oh, really?
yeah, so it's definitely not easy. And yeah, it's funny because and my best friend is a female comic too. And so yeah, I always get to see like the shitty side of comedy like through a female's perspective. Like I've seen a lot of that over the
Mhm.
years, and I've got to say it's definitely way harder being a female comic than a male comic.
But at the same time, I feel like it kind of gives you an edge in certain situations
Yeah,
because you're female. Like people want to see a female comic do well
for sure.
more. I would say
Hmm.
like it kind of um, gives them someone to root for in a way.
Oh, definitely, yeah, yeah. If you're on a show with Phil, everyone's gonna want you to do better than Phil, and they're in for a treat because you will.
I like Phil though. He's one of my good
I
friends.
do too. I love.
He's
He's
helped me
fun to
out a
talk shit
lot.
to.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's fun to talk shit to. He's just so loud and he loves just saying things that make people mad and
yeah.
I kind of admire just like his ability to just not give a fuck.
Hmm.
That's something I admire because I wish I was more emotionally abstinent, you know?
Yeah,
Like I
yeah,
wish I gave fewer fucks. So,
yeah. I feel like the more time you do stand up, it'll happen.
mhm.
You just it takes a while to get used to, but yeah, yeah, that's one of my favorite things about Phil is like just I like talking shit to comics. Like that's one of my favorite things to do. And I know some of the younger comics when I do it, they look like I'm actually talking shit to them, and it's like no, 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 just fucking goofing around.
Jokes, yeah. Just you're just in a silly, goofy mood.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and it's fun.
I didn't take you calling me fish lips personally because I knew it was true.
Yeah, you did smell like a fish. That's
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
my
Have you
dad is
tried plenty of fish? What?
I have not tried plenty of fish. I've tried going to Long John Silver's with a sign being like, "Hey, if you're craving fish, I'm on the market. Catch me at Pike's Place Market in Seattle." I don't know. That's all the fish jokes I have. My dad just tried to FaceTime me, which is really funny.
Oh man,
I was
is it?
tempted to answer just so you could hear his accent.
I kind of want to.
Do you want me
You
to
should-
call him back in
Yeah,
a little
do it.
bit?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Let me
Yeah.
call him back.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell him that I'm on a podcast though right
Okay.
away, so he doesn't say anything really embarrassing.
Like the N-word.
Okay. Whoa. Technology is crazy.
Whoa.
Anyway.
What's your dad's name?
His name's Mike.
Mike.
Like a mic stand, yeah. But
Yeah.
hi, Pia.
It's actually me.
Oh, okay. This is his British wife. Hi, I'm actually on a podcast right now. I'm recording a podcast, and I was wanting to hear my dad's accent for the podcast.
Oh, you look very pretty, darling.
Thank you. It's for the podcast.
Look up, look. What's that? She looks beautiful. You look gorgeous, Sav. You look gorgeous.
Thank you.
Have you got network, or was that us? No, I know, but which means I know she's off the phone. I'm having it as quick as I can be, really quickly. So
Okay.
we were thinking, why don't you see if you can change your flight and come here tomorrow night? No, not tomorrow night. Wednesday night.
I could.
See how much it would cost. See
Okay.
how much it would cost to change your flight.
Okay.
Because everybody's arriving Thursday. Can
Okay.
you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Everyone's arriving Thursday. And what?
Oh, it's because I'm recording the
sorry.
podcast right now. Do you mind if I talk to you about it later?
Okay. Yeah. So do your podcast and then check flights and see if you can come back.
Okay.
In for Wednesday instead. Sorry, the people that you're working with. Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
That's fine.
Podcast and call us later. All right. Lots of love.
All right.
Bye
Bye.
bye. Good luck. Bye 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 bye.
Bye. Okay. Well, that was his British wife that I was talking about.
Awesome.
I guess that
she seems
wasn't
cool.
him. Yeah, she's very cool. I guess they want me to change my flight to tomorrow night,
Yeah.
as
That's
you
pretty
heard.
wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
She
disappointed that wasn't my dad a little bit because
I am too, yeah. But it was
Yeah,
all
I
right.
don't know where he's at, but maybe I'll try to give him a call near the end and see.
Yeah.
And see, because he would love to be on a podcast. Honestly, he loves talking.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's a big talker. He's a storyteller. So
Cool.
yeah,
How long has he been in North Carolina?
a couple years now. I think he retired. He moved there, or at least a year. He retired from the Air Force a couple of years ago.
Oh, cool.
He was a special operations pilot.
Nice.
Flew the Osprey, which is like a tilt rotor. It's not quite a helicopter, not quite an airplane.
Oh,
It's
okay.
closer to a helicopter than an airplane, but
Yeah.
because the rotors, like when he takes off, he can hover like a helicopter, so he doesn't need a full runway to take off. And then the
Cool.
rotors like move, and then he can glide like an airplane and get better fuel efficiency, I think.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, he's kind of a badass, actually.
He
He's won
sounds
a
like
lot
it.
of awards. Yeah. I'm pretty proud of him. He has like a distinguished flying cross with valor, and he's done
Oh,
a lot
wow.
of rescue missions like in Iraq and Afghanistan and stuff.
Cool.
Yeah,
So did you move around a lot with him being an Air Force guy?
I did. I would say I've lived in New Mexico more than anywhere else.
Okay.
Probably like 15 to 17 years total.
Oh, cool. So
could
did
figure
you
it
go to high school here then?
I did. I went to El Dorado High School for 3.
El Dorado Eagles. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
I graduated from there in 98.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
98.
Yeah.
I was born in 96.
Yeah.
You could be my dad.
Weird.
It is weird. Yeah. No, I graduated from there in 2014.
Cool.
So I
Did you like it?
I did. I had some friends there because I lived here in elementary school too. And then I moved back for high school. So I had some friends I played soccer with in elementary school that lived here. And then I reconnected with them in high school. So
Oh, cool.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But I've lived in Florida. Sorry, I'm just adjusting. I lived in Florida, Tennessee, Georgia, Arizona, Kansas, and here like 4 different times.
Oh, cool.
So it's a lot of moving every 2 to 3 years or so.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I remember you told me you went to Kansas State for college, right?
I did.
Cool. How was that?
I can see why there's a lot of alcoholics in the Midwest because there's not a lot to do. There was one prairie to hike, the Kansa Prairie, and there was like a creek, and that was about all there was to do outside. Maybe
Wow.
tip cows too. I don't know. I never tipped a cow because that seemed a little mean.
That's not that mean. You can't even do it. They're so
You
strong.
can't even do it.
They're strong.
They're strong.
Yeah.
So then how do people tip cows? Because I know
don't
that's
do
a
it.
thing. They don't do it? They just
Well,
tell
they do it a different way. They're like, here's $3. Thank you for your service.
That's pretty funny. Has anyone told you should do comedy?
Yeah,
Like at
some lady at IHOP told me that once.
Probably just trying to get tipped herself.
Well, no, she was sitting in a different booth. It's kind of funny because she was sitting in a booth by herself. I was sitting in a booth with it was like a bunch of the wait staff from the comedy club. Like we had just finished for the night, so we just went to IHOP, and then I was making everybody laugh and stuff. And she's like, she told me I was funny. She's like, I'm sorry for eavesdropping, but you keep making me laugh. And then she told me I should try stand-up comedy, and I was like, you know what? I've always wanted to try it, and I was like, maybe I'll try it. They have an open mic this Sunday, but she never showed up. So,
well,
I was gonna go down there. I'd already been doing stand up for a couple of years. I'm like,
oh,
pretty good for my first time, huh?
I see. You were going to be a trickster.
I was, yeah, I was.
I could see it. You seem mischievous.
Yeah, I like doing stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah, me too. I wanted to do stand up for like 5 years before I got the courage to do it. It took
Oh, really?
me time to work up the courage.
Yeah. Were you in New Mexico when you wanted to try it, or were you in college, or?
I was in college in Kansas and then Arizona briefly, and then mainly here in New Mexico. I had a lot of friends who always told me I should try it, and I really wanted to do it, and my life kind of fell apart. Like I was like at rock bottom, and I was like, well, things can't really get much worse, so might as well try comedy now. And that's when I started doing comedy. And then I was like, you know what? It's really fun for me. I get like adrenaline from it, and so that's why I've been doing it ever since. So
that's cool. When did you start?
Last May.
Okay, so it's almost a year.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. That's awesome. What was your first time like?
My first time was at Slice Parlor, Carla and Tito's mic, on a Tuesday, and I had my I don't know why I invited so many people, but I had my mom, her fiance, my friend Jake and Grace, and then this guy that I was seeing who ended up ghosting me. But I was so nervous. I just remember I drank like a beer or two. And my hands were shaking. I remember that I was looking down at my hands and they were and then I got up there and I don't even remember anything that I said. I just blacked out.
Oh, wow.
Alcohol, but just like I had like the buzzing in the ears, and I think I do have stage fright pretty badly because I still kind of get like that where I'm so nervous. I was struggling really badly Friday at the Roast War, actually at Revel.
Oh, really?
My mind kept going blank. So, but I did win.
Oh, cool. Who'd you beat?
His name's Trevor Miller.
I don't know Trevor.
It's because he's the roast ghost. I've decided to nickname him that because he doesn't do comedy and he doesn't talk to any of the comedians before or after the show. He just does the roast. And I think he loses like every time. So actually, I was really upset because one of my favorite jokes I had for him, I got kind of messed up with like the rounds, and I wanted to make sure I had something saved for overtime if necessary. So I ended up, and it didn't go to overtime. So I ended up just missing out on saying this joke. Maybe I can say it for you if you
for sure.
time. But I was going to say that Trevor's actually not here to win. He's here to get publicly embarrassed and then get hard about it, or get hard from it. And then he's going to go home and jack off about it. He's going to light a candle, put on some Blink 182 and ruin his own orgasm. Because that seemed like something he'd kind of be into, like ruined orgasms. I don't know. Whenever I think of like a really pathetic guy, I think of like guys who ruin their own orgasms. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just a judgmental bitch, but
no, I could see that. Like
so
they take a phone call like right before they're about to finish or something. Can you call me back?
Hello. Yeah. It was a lot of fun though. Honestly, the judges roasted me harder than he did.
Yeah, I haven't done any of the roasts, but I've done judging on that show before. That's pretty fun.
Yeah, someone said I look like if Miss Frizzle had a baby with the school bus.
Miss Frizzle. Oh my God, is that from?
He's still calling me fat.
Let me look up Miss Frizzle. I'll make sure I know who that is.
She's from the Magic School Bus. She just has curly, frizzy
the cartoon.
Hair. Yes.
Oh yeah.
It's the cartoon. I guess I don't think I really look like her. I think it's just the curls. And then
yeah, she's got red hair.
Yeah, she has red hair. But really they just wanted to make the school bus joke about me being fat, which I had prepared myself for. Honestly, I was like mentally and emotionally prepared to get called a fat, ugly slut. And to be honest, like I was going to be like, yeah, so what? And I'm great at parties. Like, tell me something I don't know.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that's why I don't like roast, because a lot of it is like based on people's appearances and stuff like that. And like I did I forget what it was called, but it was like we were like roasting golfers as they would come by, like whatever, they'd come to our hole and we'd roast them or whatever. And it was always hard to like roast the women because like because I don't know, it just seems mean to
based and yeah, and then it just kind of makes you seem like a jerk. So
yeah,
yeah,
I don't know. So, so I've never really been a fan of like writing jokes for roasts and stuff. Like, I mean, I've written jokes for roasts, but not performed at roasts. Like, you know what I mean? Like roast battles. Like my ex-girlfriend used to like really like doing the roast battles, and when we lived in Tulsa and stuff, and I didn't like doing them, but I would write some jokes for her every once in a while, like if I knew who she was going up against.
Yeah, it is. It is an advantage to be a woman, I feel like, in a roast because, well, first of all, I think my appearance helps me. So that's actually my third roast I've been in, but it was my first official roast. So I did 2 roasts at the hall.
Okay.
And I won both of those. It was against Ellis and then Max. Excuse me. Max. And then this roast was against Trevor. So I don't know. I think me looking somewhat innocent, or like Caleb Mulkey said that I look like if the Cabbage Patch Kids, like I look like an extra from the live action Cabbage Patch Kids movie, which is actually a pretty good roast. And like has definitely given me like a crisis about my appearance since then.
Oh yeah.
But I think having the curly hair and like the baby face and then just kind of talking nonchalantly, I think it gives me an advantage because I say some shit that people don't expect me to say.
For sure.
And that element of surprise helps a lot, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, even when you're doing stand-up, just because I remember the first time I performed with you and your mom was there, even like some of the stuff you said, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, it just takes people off guard, and that's one of my favorite things to do, actually. So
that's one of the main things with comedy is like, you know, to shock them a little bit, and not necessarily shock them, but you know, like definitely be unpredictable,
catch them off their guard.
Yeah, so that's fun. Yeah, my mom used to come to a lot of my shows too, like when I was starting out, and then I invited like every single person I knew my first time because I was like, Well, if I eat shit, I'll probably never do it again. So come see me now.
Yeah. Yeah. I invite a lot of friends to stand-up stuff. I've learned, though, don't invite them to open mics, invite them to shows, because
Yeah,
shows go a lot better than open mics, and there's no
for
one
sure.
like ranting into the microphone.
Mm-hmm.
Usually at shows. But
Yeah.
at open mics, everything's fair game. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when I started, we only had one open mic per month, and it was at the comedy club. So that was like my only chance to invite people. But it was a really good open mic, because they actually had 100 people in the crowd that weren't just comics. So that was
right.
always nice.
Right. Yeah. Do you want to actually do you want to hear about how I first knew I wanted to do stand up?
Yeah, of course.
So I was in a sorority in college, and there were like 180 women in my sorority, and I actually held a position for like a semester or 2 semesters. I was house manager, so I was basically like the RA for the sorority
Mhm.
house. But during chapter, everyone was there, so it's like 180 basic white girls and like our one token black girl usually.
Yeah,
It
I've
was
been to
24.
Kansas.
Yeah, it was like that. But I would stand up and give announcements for the chapter for my position, and I wouldn't even realize anything I was saying was funny, but then
Mhm.
everyone would laugh all at once. And then I'd just get like a wave of adrenaline, and I was like,
Mhm.
oh shit, like I really like that. Felt like going on a roller coaster or something.
Mhm.
So that's how I figured out, but I didn't end up doing comedy for like 5 more years after that.
Okay.
But I count that as one of my first times, I guess. Not my first official time, but
Yeah, that's kind of how mine was. Like, I got kicked out of my sorority, but
was it the beard? Were they like,
yeah,
yeah,
they're like, "Can I talk to you about something?"
you
I know.
sent you to stand?
Yeah, I just so my first time performing was at my house. We had this big party, me and my roommates, and like my friend's band played and stuff like that. And then the cops showed up and like shut everything down. So a bunch of people left, and then all the cool people ended up coming back like 30 minutes later. And since like they had like their sound shit set up and stuff like that, and like I had already planned on doing stand up, but I hadn't really written anything yet.
Mhm.
I had planned. I gave myself 4 months to write jokes, and I set a date. I was going to do it in August. That was going to be my first time. This party was in April, and someone was just like, "Hey, there's a microphone up there. You should get up there. Just try some shit out." And I was like, "All right." I was
Yeah.
drunk enough to do it, and
Yeah.
I just pretty much just roasted all my friends. I didn't have any material plans, so I just went up there and roasted my friends and got a lot of good laughs out of it and stuff. So that was
Yeah.
fun. Like just it was a good practice for sure. So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah, it was super hard going on the first time though at the comedy club in front of like 150 people though. That was pretty.
Yeah.
That was pretty hard.
Okay, I have a question for you. Is
Yeah,
that Jarrett Reddick, is he from Bowling for Soup?
yeah, he sure is.
Okay.
He does the intro for my podcast.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
That's really cool. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I just Googled who he was. I wanted to seem cool, like I knew who he was, but I did just Google. He's voiced like Danny or somebody on Phineas and Ferb, and
Yep.
he's been the voice of Chuck E. Cheese since 2012 or something.
Mhm.
I don't know. That's just quickly what I just saw on
Yeah.
Google. But I was gonna like try to blow your mind about how much I knew about him, but I decided to tell on myself.
Oh, you're fine.
Before I got to that
He was
point.
on episode 7 of this podcast also.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. What
Yeah,
episode number is this?
this is 84.
84. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I've got a Bowling for Soup poster back here autographed also. From
Nice.
one of their anniversary shows, yeah.
That's really cool. So you have friends in high places.
Yeah, I sure do.
Yeah. Because,
Yeah,
I wanted to tell you, this is just going to come across like me buttering your biscuit, but I do
that's
look up
fine.
to you a lot.
Butter away.
Yeah, with all your traveling and everything and just like your poise. And I don't know, you just have a knack for comedy, I think. So you're just someone
Well,
I
thank
look up
you.
to. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing it a long time too. I started when you were like 5 years old, I think. So
Yeah, in 2001,
yeah, right before 9/11.
right before 9/11, you're like, actually after, like right after 9/11, you could have been like, you know what this nation needs? Some laughter.
Yeah, more
And
dick jokes.
yeah, more dick jokes, maybe some jet fuel can't melt steel beams jokes or something.
Yeah, I actually
Yeah.
did a 9/11 joke last Saturday at Turtle Mountain.
Oh, really? Can I hear it?
Maybe.
Okay. If you don't want to, that's
No,
okay.
I'll tell it. Yeah, it's well, okay. So, a friend of mine asked me like we were talking about 9/11 for some reason. He asked me where I was that day, and I told him I woke up that morning and turned on the TV. And I was watching everything go down, pun intended. Um, and then I had to work at Pizza Hut that day, and so I went to Pizza Hut, and I think I got to work at like 11 or something, and it was like super quiet all day.
You were
And
working on
then,
your delivery, I assume.
oh yeah,
At Pizza Hut.
except no, we didn't have any deliveries that day.
Oh.
Well, yeah, so like nobody was ordering pizza until like 2 o'clock. We get this phone call, and some guy like just starts ordering pizza, and I'm like, I wonder if this guy doesn't have a TV, doesn't know what's going on, or maybe he's a weirdo and he's watching like footage of 9/11, and he's like, we should get some pizza, you know.
Get some popcorn, yeah.
But then
Like,
I pictured that. Then I started picturing like this little terrorist looking guy sitting in his apartment eating pizza, and he's got like he's got two breadsticks that are like standing up like this, and then he's got a slice of pizza, and it's like, and it hits the breadsticks, and then the breadsticks fall down, and then I say, and then breadstick 7 falls down.
and then there's just the wreckage, like the marinara sauce
There's
everywhere.
marinara everywhere.
Olives and pepperonis and just that's pretty funny. I like that.
Yeah, I tried it at an open mic once, and it didn't get a laugh, so I was like, probably
Yeah.
won't get a laugh. But I tried it at Turtle Mountain. Some of my friends that I worked with at Pizza Hut were there, so I was like,
Okay.
I'll try the 9/11 joke.
Fair enough. That's always a safe bet. You're like, should I try a 9/11 joke? Answer is always yes.
Yeah, I mean, I probably won't do it in North Carolina this week or anything, but
Probably a good
yeah,
idea, actually.
yeah, I'll stick
Yeah.
to my racist jokes. Yeah,
They love that shit out there.
I hope so. I'm
Yeah.
excited. I've never even been to North Carolina, so this is pretty cool for me. I'm excited.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a couple comedian friends out there, so hopefully I'll get to see them, and
I'm excited
hope the
to
shows go well.
connect out there for sure.
Yeah, heck yeah. Yeah, and you're going to come in early, possibly, according to that phone call, so that's
Yeah.
pretty cool. I might be
Yeah.
able to see if I can squeeze you on a show or something if you have time. Maybe.
Really?
Yeah, I can see.
Oh, that would be
Yeah.
awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. I just got to figure out when the shows are and stuff. I don't even know the venues really, because one's a don't tell comedy show. And they don't really tell
Okay.
you the venue till the day of. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's in the name or something.
Yeah, right.
Secret show. That's really cool. I've been wanting to go on a don't tell comedy show. I think that would be really fun.
Yeah, for sure. Do you have a favorite venue that you perform at in Albuquerque or in the Albuquerque area?
I enjoy Unhinged and that new room that they have
Yeah.
with the stage. I think that's really cool. Honestly, I just am so grateful for every opportunity I get to perform that I'm not too picky. Like I love all the venues. I mean, the coolest one was probably Quezada's.
Okay.
just because it's an actual comedy club, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
And that was definitely the biggest gig that I've gotten.
Mhm.
I really enjoyed Revel too, actually, backstage at Revel.
Oh yeah.
That was really cool too. I also really enjoy First Fridays at Tractor in Wells
Mhm.
Park. I mean, he gets almost 100 people in there to vote.
Yeah, and it's not a
so
huge place. Yeah.
it's not a huge place, and it's just you have to get there like an hour early just to get somewhere to sit.
Mhm.
I really enjoy that show a lot too. I think I like the
It's fun.
competition aspect of it.
Yeah, it's so cool because there's 10 comics or whatever, like just doing like a really tight 5. So you get to
Mhm.
see a lot of good comedy. That's awesome.
Right. Yes. Yeah, and so I've done First Fridays. I did it 3 months in a row.
Oh, cool.
And my first time ever doing it, I got 3rd place, and I think the top 3 get invited back the next month.
Mhm.
And then the second month, I actually got 1st place, which I was really happy about. And then the 3rd month, I did not place. I was not really in a joking mood. Bonnie had just died.
Oh yeah.
And it was like right around then. I wasn't in the right mindset, I think.
Mhm.
But yeah, I didn't place that one. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Were you pretty close with Bonnie?
I would say so. Well, she had a knack for making you feel like she was one of your best friends
Oh, for
without
sure.
necessarily like having to be that close to her.
Mhm.
She always, like, when I first started comedy, I remember she was standing up for like women in the scene and saying like more female comics needed to get booked, like on roasts and things to Caleb. And she actually came, so she left the Facebook group. And I kind of invited all the comics to my birthday, like at differential from the Facebook group.
Mhm.
So I didn't think, it wasn't that I didn't want to invite her. I just kind of didn't think of her, but she still showed up because there was an
Mhm.
open mic that night. And then she heard other people were going, and she's like, I hope it's okay I came, because I care about you. And like, she hung out, and then I hung out with her like a week before she died, actually, at differential again. And
Oh
she was
wow.
giving me a pep talk, about the roast battle, and just about like not beating myself up about things. And
Mhm.
so I wouldn't say we were like best friends or anything, but she was definitely always there for me,
Yeah.
if I needed her, and she was a good person. So
Yeah, she was
it's,
great.
yeah, it really sucks.
It
But she
does,
told
yeah.
us too, it's actually kind of badass. She's like, yeah, I have Marfan syndrome and I could drop dead at any moment. And then she's at a mic, goes out for a smoke, and then does exactly that. And
Yeah.
apparently she was talking about that night.
Mhm.
And as much as it sucks, it's like kind of badass because we all
Oh,
took it
super
as a
badass.
joke. Yeah, we all
Yeah.
took it as a joke. She's like, I might die. And then she just dies. And we're like, oh
Mhm.
shit, she was being for real.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I really enjoyed the privilege of knowing her. So
Mhm. Yeah, I didn't know her that well. I had 2 like good conversations with her in person and a couple online and stuff, but yeah, just a great person, very funny too. Like every time I saw her, she was just like 5 times funnier, it seemed like. Like she
yeah,
like really worked hard on comedy, and that was cool to see.
yeah, yeah, for sure. I think I met her before I started comedy, actually. So she was just a recognizable face to me when I
Oh
first
yeah.
joined the community. But I had met her at Bar Uno and just downtown.
Oh cool.
She was always downtown, so
Mhm.
just a very recognizable Albuquerque figure, I would say.
For sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but
I met her. I didn't know she was a comedian either. I was wearing like an Iowa sweater, and she grew up in Iowa, so she started chatting with me and stuff, and
okay, cool.
then I found out later she was a comic. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Did you go to school in Iowa or anything, or are you just a fan?
Um. Well, yeah, I grew up there. I lived there till I was 17. Yeah,
Okay,
and halfway through my senior year, I moved here. So
cool.
yeah,
Very
but yeah,
cool.
most of my family's still in Iowa, and
Okay.
Yeah,
I've
except
been to
my.
Iowa. I've been to Iowa State University for like a rugby game or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've traveled through there. It's kind of like Kansas, though. I'm not gonna
Very
lie.
similar. Yeah.
Yeah,
Except we don't have toll roads in Iowa.
yeah. They could totally have toll roads, and you could tell me they didn't have it, and I would believe you either way.
Well, Iowa people aren't jerks, and they're not going to charge you to drive through the state like Kansas does.
Yeah. Speaking of tolls, I don't know if I've driven in Florida recently, but I keep getting text messages about my unpaid
Those are
toll.
fake.
Those are fake for sure.
I got
Okay.
one today,
I've been
and I
getting
don't have
really-
a car, so I don't know how I'm getting tolls.
Yeah. Well, I don't, because I've driven in Florida in the past few years. So I was like, maybe I drove through a toll and I didn't realize
No,
it.
don't click on anything they send you.
Okay, I haven't. Okay,
Okay,
good.
good.
Good. I'm glad we
Yeah, I literally got that this morning. I got a thing for a toll, and I was like, "Fuck you! I don't have a car, dummy."
Yeah, know your audience.
Yeah, jerks. Yeah,
So
yeah. Usually they'll email you for sure. The toll
Okay.
stuff. Tolls are
Okay.
annoying. Kansas is kind. I had a funny run in with a cop in Kansas. I was driving through there a few years ago, and this guy pulls me over, and he's looking at my driver's license, and he like looks in the car at me. He's like, "Your name's Kurt Fletcher?" I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "I went to high school with a guy named Kurt Fletcher." And I go, "God, I hope he was nice to you."
That's funny.
And he's like, "Yeah, he was awesome." I was like, "Cool."
I actually have a kind of funny story about well, I have two funny stories about cops in Kansas.
Yeah.
The first one was just my first time ever being pulled over by a cop in college, and it was a little traumatic. Basically, I didn't know that if there was nowhere to pull off, you can just stop in the right lane and put your hazards on. So I was getting pulled over. It was a speed trap, so I was going like 75 and a 55, and it just like dropped like the speed limit, and then he got me going 20 over. But he was behind me, and I'm going like, I put my hazards on, I'm going like 5 miles per hour, and then I drive, and it takes like 10 minutes before I can find somewhere to pull off.
Oh no.
Just going 5 miles per hour, and he's mad by the time he gets out of the cop car. And I'm already crying. Like, I was prepared. I was already crying. And I swear his name was probably, he was one of those cops with like, you know, like the steel gray hair, and it's like flat on top, sharp edges. And he had like lines on his face. He looked like a shark. He looked like his name was Bruce. And he was mad at me. And he said he had another cop car coming to head me off, and he could charge me with evading the police and all this stuff.
Geez.
And I'm like crying. And then he gave me like $180 speeding ticket. So that was my first experience. And then my second experience, which was way more pleasant, I was driving back to New Mexico actually for spring break. And it was cold, and I had my Venus flytrap plant, which if you know anything about Venus flytraps, they're like the high maintenance, like special needs kid of plants. They need to be in like a north or east facing window. They need a net pot with like peat moss where they soak up distilled water from below. And then, and you can't like have one of the mouths closed because then it won't have the energy to reopen. Anyway, I had a Venus flytrap, and I had it in a stocking cap. And then I had it buckled into the front seat with the seat warmer on because I didn't want to kill my Venus flytrap. And the cop pulls me over, and he like looks in the passenger seat and sees like my plant buckled in, like looking like it's wearing a sweater basically. And he just kind of he let me go with a warning. He kind of had the vibe like, this girl has enough problems. She doesn't need a speeding ticket on top of it. But yeah, those are my two Kansas cop stories. So nice. I could definitely punch him up a little bit, but
yeah, the Venus flytrap stuff. Do you still have that plant?
No, it was very hard to keep alive, and I brought it to Florida one summer, and then we went on like a day trip, and it got really dried up in the sun, so it died.
You're not planning on having kids anytime soon, are you?
No. No, I have an IUD for that. Thank goodness.
Thank goodness. Yeah.
Thank goodness. I can barely take care of myself and my cat and my Christmas cactus. And the Christmas cactus actually isn't doing super hot. So, yeah, kids are not on the horizon. And my cat is 17 and she's actually not doing that either. Yeah.
Yeah. What's your cat's name?
Mia Bella, but we just call her Bella for short.
Yeah.
I got her in 2008. So I was like 12, I think, and it was peak twilight times. So
oh yeah,
Bella after twilight.
Of course.
Yes. Yeah, but she's a sweet cat. She's like, all my friends who don't like cats are like, yeah, Bella made me change my mind. Like, she's like a dog
cool.
in a cat's body. Like, she's very affectionate, very sweet, talkative.
Yeah, you try out material on her.
I do, and she just goes meow meow meow, which usually just means that she's hungry. But yeah, she heckled me a little bit when I would try out some material on her.
That's cool. Cats are usually a pretty decent audience.
Yeah, for sure. Do you have any pets?
No. I used to have a poodle, and he was badass.
A poodle?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he was super chill. And then, when I got divorced, he went with my wife, even though he didn't want to.
Oh.
Yeah. He was sad.
I'm
He used
sorry.
to text me all the time. When are you coming back? Come get me.
Was he a good speller?
He was a great speller.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And he liked French fries.
Oh,
He loved French fries. His name was Totes My Goats, and we just called him Toto. Yeah.
Toto? Okay.
Yeah. But he used to, every time I'd go to a drive-thru and he was in the car, he would like stand up and roll the window down in the back seat because he knew how to do it.
That's pretty.
So
that's pretty.
I'd always give him some French fries.
Yeah, for sure. You gotta reward that behavior.
Yeah, it's pretty adorable.
Yeah, dogs are smarter than people give them credit for. Like I had a dog who we had like in our backyard. It was actually in the Heights, like off a tramway when I was in middle or elementary school because I went to Double Eagle Elementary School, if you know where that is. It's like the La Cueva school district.
Oh, okay.
When I moved back here, my parents didn't want me to go to La Cueva because they thought I would get bullied.
I could see that.
Yeah, you could see that. I actually made it through all 12 years of school without getting bullied, but I did get bullied in my sorority in college. So just when you think you're safe, you're not safe.
I got bullied at homeschool.
By your mom or what?
Yeah, she's kind of a bitch. Just kidding, Mom.
It's like, I'm letting you use my basement for your silly little podcast. And you have
It's her guest room, actually.
Oh, really?
Basement. Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, I was just trying to make a joke.
Well, no joking here.
No joking allowed. Yeah, I'm having a really good time. Thank you for having me.
Cool. Well, we got to wrap it up. I'm just kidding. No, I usually try to keep it at about an hour.
About an hour? Okay.
Except Phil, because he wouldn't shut up and taking phone calls and stuff like that. But we can talk a little bit more about comedy. Like, I was going to ask you, like, do you currently watch other comedians, like not just like in the scene, but like on Netflix and stuff like that, YouTube specials and things?
Yes. I just watched Tim Dillon's I'm Your Mother special. Okay. I watch a lot of, I'm a big fan of like John Mulaney, Nate Bargatze, Bo Burnham. I like Eliza Schlesinger, Ali Wong, Taylor Tomlinson. I really look up to Taylor Tomlinson. She kind of has the vibe I'm going for, the basic white girl kind of vibe.
Yeah, and she's super young too.
Yeah. I think she started comedy really early, like 16.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she's really young. And let's see, who else have I been watching lately that I really like? I really enjoy Shane Gillis's stuff. I think he kind of has that like slight asshole vibe that I like with comedy. that I'm actually kind of attracted to. It's bad. I'm a little bit of a chuckle fucker for sure. Because I like it when people have good senses of humor, and that's like what's most attractive to me. So very dangerous in comedy.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ralph Barbosa.
You know what's funny? Ralph actually opened for me once. And then like 2
Really?
years later, he was like famous as hell. Yeah.
Yeah, he blew up. Karen Carson knew him too.
Yeah.
She was in Texas. Like she was in the same scene. She threw a baby shower for him, actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So she was telling me about that once. I thought that was pretty cool. How did
cool,
you do when he opened up for you?
He did great. He was very new. But he was solid. And it was like a really good show. It was like a lot of like I wasn't headlining that show. There was like a guy who had been on like MTV was headlining, and then the guy who went on before him was like a nationally touring headliner, and then I was on the show, and then Ralph, and then someone else.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was an awesome show. It was it's in the middle of nowhere in Texas, like Justin, Texas, or something, like small town like north of Fort Worth or something like that.
Justin, Texas.
I think so. Yeah.
That's pretty funny. It's like, I'm nowhere special. Justin, Texas.
Yeah.
I'm sure everyone who lives there hates that joke probably, but
probably, yeah.
I know I'm not the first person to think of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what else did you want to talk regarding comedy? Oh,
what's that?
I said, what else did you want to talk about regarding comedy?
I was gonna ask you like what your goals are with comedy. Like what's like do you want to do it full time? Do you want to go on the road full time? Stuff like that.
That would be awesome. I have a bit of a punctuality problem, and I think being a stand-up comic is one of the only jobs where you can get away with that. A little bit, but I mean, I don't want to put all my hope into like one day being a famous comedian because, the chances of that happening are pretty low. So, but I like doing it. I have a lot of fun doing it. It's a hobby for me for sure right now. I guess I would be grateful for anything that did happen, but I would also be fine keeping it to open mics and shows around town. Yeah. I have traveled to Colorado for a show, just Trinidad. But yeah, I think traveling around and doing comedy would be really, really cool because I love making new connections and meeting people. I guess I just don't want to get my hopes up too far. Yeah, because it's rough out there. But I do think I have a knack for some aspects of comedy. So I think something could possibly come out of it, but I just don't want to get my hopes up too much.
Yeah.
I guess my goals are like for this year, oh my gosh, one of my like more immediate goals would be like to perform at Hyenas would be really cool. And the comedian I opened for at Quezada's, she's coming back to Hyenas.
Oh, who's that?
In July, Maddie Smith.
Oh yeah, I know Maddie.
Yeah, so she was really cool to hang out with. And I actually drove her around, her and her feature, Jacob Kendall.
Oh, cool.
I took them to Old Town and we smoked an infused joint because she was just given like a bag of infused joints. She couldn't even smoke all of them before she had to leave. So I was like, oh, that's so cool. Like people just give you weed at shows and stuff. Like when you're traveling around, like that seemed so cool to me. So we just smoked weed in Old Town and then I showed them around Old Town and we had lunch and she bought me lunch and everything. It was so nice. And then we went through all the gift shops and everything. It kind of felt like purgatory in a way because we were so high and we were just like going around gift shop after gift shop and they were all the same. And it like felt never ending. And then we went and did the show that Saturday night. So it was really fun hanging out with her and Jacob.
Hell yeah.
So I'm hoping I'm going to reach out to her. I have her number. I'm going to reach out to her and see if I can maybe open for her at Hyenas.
That'd be cool.
That's an immediate goal. Yeah, I'll try to bribe her with some infused joints and like a ride around town. And
Yeah.
But yeah, she's so nice. And she gave me like the details on some of the famous like comedians she's worked with.
Mm-hmm.
Like Theo Vaughn and stuff.
Yeah, that's where I met her, was with Theo Vaughn.
Yeah. Okay, so were you performing or what?
Yeah, we were doing a show at the Kiva Auditorium.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's really cool. She's a little dirty, which I kind of like. I like.
Oh, yeah, she was super dirty.
Yeah, she kept jacking off the microphone and stuff, like pretending it was a dick at Quesada's. And then when I got up after her, I was like, man, I think she made that microphone come like 3 or 4 times. And I don't know. Hopefully she liked that joke, but yeah. But she was a pleasure to work with, and really like first professional comic I've met.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Although I would consider you're pretty professional too.
Yeah, I'm pretty professional. I have a website and everything.
I think I need to make a website and an email and start posting clips and things.
For sure. You should.
That's a goal of mine too. Actually, a major goal of mine is to just start writing and rehearsing, because everything you've seen me do up until now, besides the roast, I don't write. I haven't written anything down, and I don't rehearse. I just kind of get up there and wing it, which sometimes, but other times it falls flat. So I think I could be a lot better if I actually put more work into it.
Yeah, I never rehearse. When I lived in Denver, I noticed that a lot of people would rehearse, and you can kind of tell when you watch them because they sometimes over rehearse. And then so when they perform, it doesn't sound organic, it just sounds like they've been rehearsing a lot.
Right.
But I do write a lot. I do love writing and making sure all the words are right in the perfect spot and stuff like that, But I know some people that never write anything down. They'll just record it into their phone, and then they'll take that on stage and work it out on stage.
That is something I need to do too, is just record things I say, because I make so many jokes every day that, especially from smoking weed, I'll just forget them, and I never into the void, and I never think of them again. And some of them are really funny, so I'm just like, dang, I need to start.
I remember I did that one time years ago. Me and my buddy I think we were drunk, and I remember writing down something because I wasn't going to remember it. But then, so I looked at it the next day, and I just wrote down pants, and I circled it. Like I was going to remember it. Yeah. And so I called my friend the next day.
Oh, that's funny.
I was like, dude, do you remember when I was talking about pants? He's like, yeah, it's fucking hilarious. I was like, what did I say? He's like, I have no idea.
That's pretty. Yeah. I relate to that.
Yeah.
For sure.
So I was like, all right, next time we get drunk or something, we're going to have a tape recorder. And if either one of us says something funny, we're writing it down or recording it.
Yeah. I need to start just recording all my high conversations with my friends. I had, in my old apartment, I had a balcony, and I had 2 chairs, and it kind of looked like a late night show, like setup, like a talk show. And I'd have friends over, and we'd smoke weed, and I could hear like my downstairs neighbor would have like just their screen door closed, like they wouldn't have the whole door closed. And sometimes like we'd be talking, shooting the shit or whatever, and I'd hear them laugh like in their apartment. And I'm like, I know we're saying funny things. This is why I want to start a podcast. Actually, that's another comedy goal.
Oh yeah, you should.
I think there's definitely a market for like a female-based podcast in Albuquerque.
Yeah, I know Carla had one for a while. I feel like she might be the only one. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think there's
I'm probably forgetting someone else, but yeah.
There's definitely room for a female podcast.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
So.
Do it, Savannah.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna have the production company be called Tatas and Ha-Has, or Ha-Has and Tatas. I don't know. I can't decide which way it sounds better,
Yeah.
but and be like presented by Tatas and Ha-Has, and then because do you know Allie Russ?
I don't think so.
She has like she's a model, and she has like the long straight hair. She's from Florida, and she's
I know
very
she is. Yeah,
Southern.
yeah. I guess I didn't know her name.
Yeah, her name's Allie. And she wants to start a podcast with me called The
Oh, cool.
Screeching Eagle. So
Called what?
The Screeching Eagle. It's because her ex, who did her really dirty, I guess, wanted to have a podcast called The Screeching Eagle. So she wants to do it before he can. So I think we're gonna try to get a podcast going called that.
I hope so.
Yeah,
Do it
I think
soon. Yeah.
really fun. Yeah, I need to do it soon. I need to do it now. Now that I said it on a podcast.
Yeah, because he probably watches this.
Yeah, he's probably one of your loyal viewers. He's your lawyer.
He's one of the three.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm excited though. I'm gonna repost this everywhere. When does this come out? Tomorrow?
I'll probably put it out Wednesday. I try to put them out on Wednesdays. Yeah.
Wednesdays? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, just send me the link and I'll share it everywhere, and maybe we'll get more than 3 viewers. We'll see.
I hope so. Yeah, the one with Phil. How many views did that one get? If Phil can get views, you can get views for sure. Let's see here. Yeah, Phil's episode got 32 views.
You know what my goal is going to be for this episode?
33?
No, 100.
100? Okay.
You think we can get over 100 views?
We can do it.
I think we can do it.
Yeah, William Wheeler's episode got over 100 views.
Yeah. If we get over 100 views, will you have me back on sometime?
Absolutely.
Okay, awesome.
I'll have you on even if we don't hit 100 views.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
For sure.
And thank you again for having me on the show.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you for being on the show.
Yeah.
Where can people find you on social media?
So my Instagram, actually my username for all social media is Sav Holder, Holder. So SAVHOLDER.
Okay,
and
cool.
I'm on Instagram. I'll be making a comedy website soon. It'll probably be something like savholdercomedy.com or something.
Cool.
But yeah, I was going to put my whole name on this like yellow thing down here.
Oh, yeah.
It was like way too long. So I was like, I thought about putting Sav Holder, and then I was like, no, I go by Savannah Holder. So I just put Savannah. Yeah. So.
Are you named after the town in Georgia?
I am.
Okay, cool.
I am. And my aunt, who passed away before I was born, her name was Stephanie Ray. Rae was her middle name. So my name's Savannah Ray.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So
Savannah
kind of
Ray.
Georgia, kind of, yeah. My grandpa wasn't happy that I was named Savannah because apparently there's some ship like that, like the USS Savannah or something, where they all turned out to be traitors and like surrendered or something like that. So he's like, I don't want my granddaughter named after a traitor ship. And
dang.
But he has dementia now, so.
Oh, good. Yeah, you'd be like, I wasn't named after the ship.
Yeah. So.
It kind of sounds like a country singer, Savannah Ray Holder.
Yeah, it definitely is a very Southern sounding name.
Yeah.
I used to have a Southern accent as a kid.
Oh, yeah.
Home videos.
I bet your dad saying your name sounds cool.
Yeah, it does sound pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, cool. Do you have any local shows coming up that you want to promote?
Actually, no, just in North Carolina, and then I haven't really gotten booked on too much in the future. Hopefully stuff will come up. You said something about a show, right? Where the audience roasts you?
Yeah, that one's going to be July 17th.
July 17th.
I don't know the venue yet, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, that show, that sounds fun. I love getting roasted.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah. I
yeah, I
regularly
guess the
did.
crowd's gonna be roasting us, so that'll be fun.
It sounds scary, but fun.
It does a little bit, yeah. But
Yeah. It's like when I'm going to be scared about something, I have to go the full 9 yards.
mhm.
Like at the roast on Friday, I had like a crop top on with my tits out. So I was like, I'm going to be scared about that. I'm going to be scared about the roast. And I invited 2 guys from Bumble. I was like, what if they both show up and like have to duel over me? Like, so I was just like, I'm just going full send, like, fuck it, we ball kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my old roommate used to he used to match with girls on Tinder and then just invite them to his comedy shows
Mhm.
and then not talk to them.
I kind of did that on Friday. Like this guy, I knew it was him, and he looked at me and we hadn't talked yet, and I just gave him a double thumbs up. And Dave Corvette was like, did you end up talking to him, or like you just invited him and didn't even talk to him, just gave him a thumbs up? And I was like, yeah, I mean, you know, why not invite prospective lovers to shows where you're going to get called fat, ugly, and a slut, you know?
That's right.
Yeah, they got to know what they're getting into.
Mm-hmm. And if they can handle that, then
if they can handle
then
that,
they deserve a first date.
They do. They they do. So yeah. But
well, that's cool. Well, thank you for being on the podcast. We already hit an hour and 12 minutes, and
okay.
But yeah, I hope you had a good time. Go follow her on Instagram, everybody. Savannah Holder. It's Sav Holder. Very funny. Go see a show of hers very soon. And I'll definitely talk about the July 17th show when I get all the details and stuff. I still don't know the venue or anything, so
okay.
but that'll be fun.
Good. All right. Thank you so much. Have a
Thank
good day.
You. Yeah, you too, and safe travels. Maybe I'll see you in North Carolina.
Yes, that would be awesome. All right. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.